Now it's time to talk about a building which was built in the 16th century, is Grade 2 star listed and holds special memories for thousands of people in Newcastle as well. It used to be a grocer, a restaurant and most recently a pub. What are we talking about? Well, it's actually the iconic Cooperage building on the quayside, which was sat empty since 2009 though.
Yeah, you might know this building. You might have driven past it. You might be driving past it now if you've come across the swing bridge. It's the black and white wooden medieval timber framed building, and it sits in the shadow of the Tyne Bridge at the end of the quayside on that long run of bars in that area. But it's fallen into disrepair. It's been sitting doing nothing, empty, rotten away for the last 10 years. It was though placed on Historic England's Heritage at Risk Register last year.
Yeah, a lot of people are concerned about this, and now a petition calling on the owners to save the building has more than 8,000 signatures. Kate Wilson is the Heritage at Risk Principal for Historic England here in the North East.
It's obviously one of a number of timber frame buildings along the quayside. Not as many as there used to be. There used to be a lot more. But I think if we want a uniqueness, it's probably the most complete timber frame buildings from the late medieval period in the city. And if that's not something to shout about, I don't know what is.
Yeah, in terms of memories and its history, why is it so special to so many people?
It obviously was built first half of the 16th century, then quite specifically as a merchant's house, like many of the other timber frame buildings along the quayside. But it's changed over the years. It's been a grocer's, a Cooper's, a restaurant, and I think most people remember it as a pub. So, of course, it's going to be in everybody's memories because it's somewhere they would have gone to drink and had good times.
Yeah, I must admit, it was my second year uni phase when it was a bar. We were devastated when it closed in 2009. And it's really sad seeing it, the state it's in now, because it hasn't been touched since. How does it make you feel when you see it now?
No, it's very sad, and I really don't understand why anybody who would own a building like that would want to leave it in that condition. I can understand why it may not be the right time to open it for whatever business, but I think there's no excuse really for not dealing with the basic maintenance of a building like that and keeping it wind and watertight. Just looking at it from the outside, every year it deteriorates more and more. The downpipes and so on are broken, and so water is just gushing everywhere, and some of the windows are broken. I can't see the roof, obviously, unless I get right up the top, and then it's quite difficult because there's just so much vegetation grown up at the back now that you can't see through there. So it is very vulnerable to vandalism and decay.
What are you calling for from the owners then? You say it may not be the right time to open a new premises. What do they need to do?
If this isn't the right time, they don't have the funding, or whatever reason it might be, what they need to do is to tackle the basic maintenance and the urgent works that need to be done now. So that's not a full repair I'm talking about here, just tackling the basic measures to keep the wind and water out. If you leave it unoccupied and leave it derelict, it's much more difficult to bring it back into permanent use. It is very sad. I wish there was something we could do, and we certainly can if the owners would contact us.
Well, speaking of the owners, BBC Newcastle has approached them. It's the apartment group based in Jesmond, but they're yet to get back to us. In a statement, Newcastle City Council says it's concerned, but it is privately owned and the responsibility lies with the owner and not the council.